this mind be in me, which was also in Christ Jesus. Fill me with the Holy Ghost. Fill me with the Holy Spirit. Speak to me, Father. Speak through me, Father. Speak a word to your people. Give knowledge and understanding to those who will receive it. Edify, bring the Father. Feed your sheep. In the name of Yahshua HaMashiach. Build your army. Build your church. In the name of Yahshua HaMashiach. I give you the praise, the honor, and all the glory. God is a jealous God. He will not share his glory with another. I thank you, Father. Bless this broadcast. Bless those who listen with the intent to participate, to do word and deed. Bless the doers of the work. I thank you. Bless you. Give you praise, honor, and glory. Give us testimony. Because we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. In the name of Yahshua HaMashiach, because Jesus the Christ. Thank you for it. Give us understanding. Hallelujah. Seal it in our hearts. Amen. Amen. Shalom, shalom. Welcome, everyone. This is your host, Brian Anthony, Ben Yah with Beyond Babbitt, reporting for duty. Brian Anthony, Ben Yah with Beyond Babbitt, reporting for duty. We ready to wage another round of war. I'm trying something new, guys. Trying something new. So we're going to see how this works. Thank y'all for joining. It's going to be the first of a little series. Called what are we going to call this? The Office of the Prophet. Office of the Prophet. All this is going to come from the 66 books. So we're going to need this in order to build a community, to have order and structure, and to have knowledge of the priesthood of Enoch, of Melchizedek, the firstborn son of the only begotten son, and another number of other names. Spirit-led sons of God, Christ in you, the hope of glory. So we're going to talk about the office of the prophet. And this is probably going to be a series, Lord willing, we're going to see how far we can get. You know, try a number of different things, because we got to get back to the characters of the Old Testament. From Adam, we're up to Seth now, and about to go beyond. All the way down to Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and beyond, all the way down to Hamashiach, and to these times, you know, to get a fuller understanding. But as we go along, we'll take breaks like this, and to get an understanding, we have to understand the office of the prophet. Okay? So before we get into it, let me just throw some things out there. What we're going to be finding out. We'll find that there's an order with the prophet. And I'll point these things out as we go. We're going to be coming through from a number of different books, all in the 66 books. And prophet is pretty high, guys. I'll just point some things out to you as we go. So I guess let's go ahead and get started. But I want to try to keep it short as well. So we know there are some prophets that in the 66 books don't have a book. Maybe they have a book somewhere else. Maybe they don't. Some say Abraham has a book. Maybe he doesn't. I haven't read it. But It's possible. But some people are prophets that we didn't know. So I'm going to go ahead and let's go to Genesis chapter 20. I'm just going to point out some things about the office of the prophet. Genesis chapter 20. And it's a short chapter, so we may read the whole chapter. So let's go ahead and I'm trying to find the camera. I'm looking at myself. My eyes look like I'm looking the wrong way. So there. And then when we post it, we'll see maybe the angle is not gonna, we're just trying a bunch of things. So bear with us. Thank y'all for joining, by the way. So Genesis 20, we're going to start at verse 1, and it goes like this. And Abraham journeyed from thence toward the south country, and dwelled between Kadesh and Shur, and sojourned in Gerar. And Abraham said unto Sarah his wife, She is my sister. And Abraham said of Sarah his wife, She is my sister. And Abraham said of Sarah his wife, She is my sister. Now, some pastors would lie and say that Abraham lied right here. Maybe they don't know they're lying. Maybe they've never read the whole story. Maybe they just didn't read down enough, far enough. But let's keep going. And Abimelech, see, there are a lot of Abimelechs in here. See, this Abimelech is before, remember we were reading about, we were reading Gideon. There was an Abimelech during his time. Okay, so Abraham is before Gideon, because Abraham is the father of the faith and the father of all the tribes, So this is not the same Abimelech. And then there are a number of other Abimelech. So it's a common name during those times, in those areas as well. Maybe I should have looked up what that meant, but it says, okay. So Genesis 20 and 2, let's start there again. And Abraham said of Sarah his wife, She is my sister. And Abimelech, king of Gerar, sent and took Sarah. But God came to Abimelech in a dream by night and said to him, Behold, thou art but a dead man. Oh. For the woman which thou hast taken, for she is a man's wife. But Abimelech had not come near her. And he said, Lord, wilt thou slay a righteous nation? See, we don't know. We know that Abimelech probably didn't know the name of Yahuwah, but he was, whatever law he had, whatever understanding he had, he was trying to do the same thing, because he said, would you slay a righteous nation? Said he not unto me, She is my sister? And she herself said, He is my brother. In the integrity of my heart and innocency of my hands have I done this. And God said unto him in a dream. And God said unto him in a dream. And God said unto him in a dream. A lot of times when people are messing with the prophets, the Most High will send dreams to disturb them, to let them know. Even if they've never had a dream before, they will send dreams to them or somebody around them when you're messing with the prophets to leave this one alone. Okay? He contends, touch not my prophets, touch not my servants, and do my prophets no harm. So, let's continue. So Genesis 20 and 5. Said he not unto me, She is my sister? And she, even she herself said, He is my brother. In the integrity of my heart and innocency of my hands have I done this. And God said unto him in a dream, Yea, I know that thou didst in the integrity of thy heart, for I also withheld thee from sinning against me. Okay, he wouldn't even let him sin against the Most High Yah. Therefore suffered I thee not to touch her. Now therefore restore the man his wife, for he is a prophet. See, Abraham is a prophet. So in the 66 books, there are no writings of Abraham. So there isn't even any mention of Abraham being sent to prophesy to anyone, sent to speak to anyone and tell anyone anything. Right? So there are different types of prophets, different levels of prophets. But Abraham believed God, and he counted it unto him as righteousness. And he called him friend of God. That's deep. So, let's do it again. Genesis 20, verse 7. Now therefore restore the man his wife, for he is a prophet, and he shall pray for thee, and thou shalt live. And if thou restore her not, know that thou shalt surely die. When you're dealing with the prophet, a lot of times it's blessing or curses. Sometimes it's life or death. And thou shalt surely die. Thou and all that are thine. Okay? When you're dealing with the prophet, it gets severe. Thou and all that are thine. He's talking about when it said that you shall surely die. Okay? And we don't know how much of a prophet Abraham was. There's no mention of him doing anything, any prophets. But we know angels came and visited him. He was a man full of faith. We know that. We know that much. Okay? Verse 8. Therefore Abimelech rose early in the morning and called all his servants and told all these things in their ears. And the men were sore afraid. Then Abimelech called Abraham and said unto him, What hast thou done unto us? And what have I offended thee, that thou hast brought on me and on my kingdom a great sin? Thou hast done deeds unto me that ought not be done. I'm going to try to keep this short, sort of upload. We're going to try something. And Abimelech said unto Abraham, What sawest thou, that thou hast done this thing? And Abraham said, Because I thought, surely the fear of God is not in this place, and they will slay me for my wife's sake. And yet indeed she is my sister. There we go, verse 12. And yet indeed she is my sister. He did not lie, did he? She is the daughter of my father, but not the daughter of my mother. And she became my wife. And it came to pass, when God caused me to wander from my father's house, that I said unto her, This is thy kindness which thou shalt show unto me at every place whither we shall come. Say of me, he is my brother. So instead of saying, it's my husband, just say, you're my brother. I mean, that's true, but at the same time, the status was updated. That was his wife. But they said, well, let's go back to the other title for safety, because they was kind of afraid. It was tough times back then. You know, those people were cutthroat. 14, and Abimelech took sheep and oxen and men servants and women servants and gave them unto Abraham and restored him Sarah, his wife. Yeah. And Abimelech said, Behold, my land is before thee. Dwell where it pleaseth thee. They're trying to treat the prophet right. Because if you treat the prophet right, you get a blessing from the Most High Yah. It's a different class when you're dealing with the prophets. It's a different level. You will understand soon that the prophet is the highest in the land. The prophet is above the pastor. The prophet is above the evangelist, the teacher, the preacher, the bishop, above the king even. Okay? Above the priest. The prophet is the highest in the land. And there are different levels of prophets as well. So the only one who you ever see in Scripture to rebuke a prophet, where you see little peons try to rebuke him and bad things happen to him. But the only thing that can rebuke a prophet is another prophet. The Most High will send a prophet to rebuke the prophet if the prophet is off. So you got to watch how you treat people. And the scripture even says, because sometimes you entertain angels unaware. Now, you know, an angel is not even a human. You definitely have to watch how you treat people. Okay, verse 15. And Abimelech said, Behold, my land is before thee. Dwell where it pleaseth thee. And unto Sarah he said, Behold, I have given thy brother 1,000 pieces of silver. Behold, he is to thee a covering of the eyes unto all that are with thee, and with all other. Thus she is reproved. So Abraham prayed unto God, and God healed Abimelech and his wife and his maidservants, and they bare children. For the Lord had fast closed up all wombs of the house of Abimelech because of Sarah, Abraham's wife. The Lord will fight for his prophets. And it would have been bad if they had not repented. The prophets still exist. They are the highest in the land. So this would be our first series on that. We're going to see how this works. With that said, this is your host, Brian Anthony. Binyah with Beyond Babbitt, over and out. Brian Anthony with Binyah with Beyond Babbitt, over and out. Peace and blessing. Shalom, shalom.